When it comes to television, getting a pilot greenlit by the network is usually good news for everyone involved. Unfortunately for these stars, though, their appearances in the first round of filming for an eventual hit show didn't pan out because they were replaced before their series went into full production. Whether it was professional conflicts or personal matters, these actors lost what became pretty iconic small-screen roles despite filming them first. Here are some TV characters who were recast after the pilot. The Incredible Hulk. Lou Ferrigno became a household name thanks to his successful run as the Mean Green Monster in the classic 70s TV series, but it was originally Richard Kiel who'd signed up to star as the Hulk. The eventual James Bond villain was hired to film 2 movies of the week that were to serve as the pilot for the proposed series. However, Kiel, who was blind in one eye, was uncomfortable in the full-contact lenses that the part required, and also didn't like the green body paint. Producers also felt that Kiel didn't fit perfectly in the part since even though he was over 7 feet tall, he didn't boast a bodybuilder physique. The role was eventually given to Ferrigno, but Kiel's turn is still briefly visible in the scene in which Hulk saves a young girl from drowning. Danny Tanner. Full House almost had a different dad. John Posey was initially brought on to play the role of Danny Tanner on the popular sitcom, but he was replaced by comedian Bob Saget after filming the pilot. Posey had just 2 credits to his name when he signed on for the pilot, and said he was actually on his way from Atlanta to Los Angeles to work on the series when he got the call saying he had been replaced. Show creator Jeff Franklin wanted either Saget or Paul Reiser from the beginning, but they'd both been tied up with other potential shows.
Neither Paul nor Bob were interested. We went through a casting process. We ended up casting a complete unknown.
When Saget became available, however, Franklin decided to give Posey the axe.
And I don't know, as soon as I created this character, I thought of Bob.
Posey still went on to have a very successful career as a small-screen guest star. However, he's nowhere near as well known as the man who became America's dad on the beloved sitcom. Sookie St. James. Before she became such a big-screen sensation, Melissa McCarthy was perhaps best known for her role as the sweet Stars Hollow chef Sookie St. James on Gilmore Girls. However, the actress almost wasn't chosen to wear Sookie's signature smock. In the series' unaired pilot, comedic actress Alex Borstein originally appeared in the role but had to back away due to her contract with Mad TV. Borstein still got to appear on the show, just in a much smaller role. Instead of playing Sookie, the actress made a couple of cameos as the sharp-tongued harp player Drella, and then re-emerged as the family stylist Miss Celine. Willow Rosenberg. Buffy the Vampire Slayer's original pilot has actually surfaced, which means that fans can go back and watch the original Willow Rosenberg in action to see why another actress was brought in to play her. Allison Hannigan would famously go on to take over the part, but it was Riff Regan who'd starred in the short pilot creator Joss Whedon made for the network in a bid to get the show picked up. The network had a few issues with the pilot, and one of the big points was Regan, who played a much more quiet and subdued version of the character than the one fans would come to know in the show's full run. Daenerys Targaryen. Emilia Clarke's portrayal of Khaleesi is a major part of why Game of Thrones is one of the most popular shows on TV, but she wasn't the first actor brought on to play the part of the Mother of Dragons. That honor instead went to Tamsin Merchant, an English actress known for her role in The Tudors. While we don't know exactly why Merchant was let go after the pilot, Game of Thrones showrunners Dan Weiss and David Benioff have been pretty open in their discussions about the shortcomings of the original pilot, which had to be almost completely reshot so that it could eventually become such a massive cultural phenomenon.
So, thank you.
Catelyn Stark. Daenerys wasn't the only Game of Thrones role to be recast after the pilot. Actress Jennifer L. was initially set to play Stark family matriarch Catelyn, but she ended up dropping out of the role, which eventually went to Michelle Fairley. Elle stepped away from the role because it involved a 7-year contract and, at the time, her daughter was just a few months old. The show's producers ended up having Fairley reshoot all of the scenes involving Elle, and the rest is history. Jenna Maroney. Jane Krakowski earned 4 Emmy Award nominations for her role as 30 Rock's resident diva Jenna Maroney, but it turns out that the character was originally supposed to be a little different. Creator Tina Fey originally cast her former Saturday Night Live co-star Rachel Dratch in the role, but the part was given to Krakowski after NBC saw the show's unaired pilot. Dratch's version of the role was still Liz's best friend and the star of The Girly Show, but the series would have originally focused more on sketches. Dratch was later told the series' style was moving more toward that of a sitcom, meaning they needed an actress who could fit that bill. Naturally, she was upset about the decision.
When you think about planning your SNL exit, you don't think like, I know, I'll leave and then have a big public faceplant.
But Dratch did go on to hold a number of other roles on the show, including the overwhelmed cat wrangler Greta, the Happy Days-obsessed cleaning lady Maria, and the imaginary Blue Man. Sarah Braverman. After becoming America's hippest mom Lorelai on Gilmore Girls, Lauren Graham again captured the hearts of small-screen audiences everywhere as Sarah Braverman on NBC's Parenthood. However, ER star Maura Tierney originally occupied that role before having to drop out under terrible circumstances. After filming the pilot, she learned that she had breast cancer. The show's producers tried to accommodate her treatments by pushing back production and sending the show's premiere to mid-season, but in the end, it was too much for her, and she had to leave the show. In her place, Graham was brought on to take over the part, and after Tierney recovered, she went on to nab an award-winning role on the hit Showtime series The Affair.